How's it going, Mr.
Mikey,
Caveman?
yo, it's going great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So my first question was going to be about how you took the Chandler loss, but I just saw Mike Bond on Twitter. I guess he was the last guy who interviewed you, and he said that you told him that you dealt with it by crying a lot and masturbating violently. Um,
Yes, yes, violently, man.
I
Tears, tears.
I don't know if I want you to expand on that, but if you want to expand on that,
Yeah. I poured whiskey all over myself, and masturbated violently and cried. And that's just everybody's got their thing, right? That's how I release my microaggressions, guys. That's how I release them.
but now you're good. Now you're done the violent
Yeah, no,
master.
that set me straight, man. That's a 24-hour process. That's all it is. Dude, I'm good to go the next day. I was out ready to go.
Nice. Well, I also saw on Twitter, and this has nothing to do with masturbating, that you got to train with Dwayne Ludwig. How's that?
Dude, so dope. Man, Dwayne is a master of the fist fighting technique and also teaching, man. The guy's a great teacher. I was super impressed with the way that he put together his classes and walked around and individually instructed and this and that, man. And Benavidez and TJ Dillashaw were out there, and even Lance Palmer, and man, like he just puts together a really good program with a lot of very unique looks at striking.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but was that before or after TJ Dillashaw's fight? I believe it was right after, right?
Yeah. So I was actually training up there for a couple days before the fight, but then continued after the fight.
Okay, and what was the kind of mood in the camp? Do you think it was more of a like, oh yeah, TJ won, it was close, let's bounce back, or was it kind of more sober the day after?
I didn't really get to like the day after effect, but everyone was definitely bummed, man. A lot of us watching it thought that TJ had pulled it out. And that fight was so nitty gritty close, man. I thought I thought that he had pulled it out, but man, Dominic Cruz, dude, that fight was phenomenal, man. That's all I have to say about it. And I'm sure that TJ's still really hungry and wants to get back to the title.
And do you think that you'll be moving up to Denver at any point and training there full time with the Muscle Farm guys with Dwayne Ludwig?
Um, Man, I think that every camp I have will be involved with those guys. Um, I did a little bit of training with Dwayne Ludwig, but mostly it was with Team Elevation.
Okay.
So Team Elevation with Leister Bowling and Elliot Marshall. And TJ was over there too. You know what I mean? And there's a bunch of studs there. We got Neil Magny, Brandon Thatch, Drew Dober. So it was a great environment with a lot of killers and a lot of hungry fighters, and that's the environment I needed to be in.
Nice. And Bellator just announced that they're doing Bellator kickboxing, so some of the Bellator fighters. I was gonna say, what's your reaction to that?
Dude, throw me in there against Punk Thompson. That would be a dope fight. Make that happen.
That would be a pretty sick fight.
Yeah, man. That's the thing, man. Here's what I gotta do. I gotta go beat up Bobby Cooper to get to those kind of fights, man. Bobby Cooper, unfortunately, I will step on his face to rise up to where I rightfully belong in the caveman hierarchy of Bellator. So, gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta beat up this dude and to get to bigger fights like that, man. And do kickboxing, that's awesome. I would love to do that. I've expressed in the past, like doing, I was wanting to get into glory and try to do some of that. So, it's a huge swing because I haven't kickboxed solely kickboxed in quite a while. But man, I was originally a Muay Thai fighter, so I started off in Muay Thai, and it'd be nice to get back to that.
Nice. And you and Bobby Cooper, that's your next fight.
We're talking Genki Sudo. Pick him up by the legs, spin him in a circle, and throw him out of the fucking cage. That's the savagery that I'm bringing. Write that down, jot it down, and then I'll make it history next week.
I'll be looking forward to that to see if that doesn't count as a DQ. I imagine that would be a disqualification, throwing a guy out of the cage. I don't think that's...
No, that is 100% a win. You can't be disqualified for that. There's no way.
So we're going under, like, TNA rules, pro wrestling.
Oh, hell yeah, we are. You know I love the wrestling, man.
One last thing, on Instagram, right when the fight was announced, you and Bobby Cooper did a little back and forth, but it was all good, all positivity. You always bring this excitement, this positivity to all of your fights. What do you think that is that just drives that positivity?
Man, it's my love for the sport, and it's a lot of it is like, I just would not rather be doing anything else, man, and that's why I'm so happy to be there. That's why I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing. And, taking looks at fights and kind of having my rise and kind of having my fall, that's where I have to, like, get outside myself and look and say, man, this is fun and games and all, but, dude, you gotta take this fucking serious, or you're not gonna be able to show anyone your cheetah print suit on TV anymore. And then what do you do with it? What do I do with it? I take it. Do I burn it? Do I get rid of it? I just bought a $350 suit. What am I gonna do with that if I'm not fighting on TV? So those are things I have to look at.
I'm sure you could auction it off and get a decent amount of money for that suit.
Like, what does a caveman do without a club that is designed to smash skulls? I don't know. And I don't want to find out. And that's why I train as hard as I do.
I feel like it would be along the lines of just furiously masturbating and pouring whiskey on yourself.
Yeah, and that gets really unhealthy at 48 hours. I'm telling you. I know from experience.
Well, we've gone full circle now. We are back to that. Thanks for the interview, and good luck at Bellator 150. You're always a fun guy to talk to.
All right, thanks, you brother.